What is going on, YouTube? I am back with another Bleach review in 2025. So in my last video, which was, oh shit, that was like 2 months ago. In my last video, I was talking about my thoughts on the Arrancar arc. I finally finished it. It took me so long to do it. It was such like a long part of Bleach. I'm honestly surprised it even went like that long. I don't know if like Kubo at the time was trying to figure out ways to like wrap it up, figure out ways to pretty much like defeat Aizen. I feel like if I was doing a weekly manga like he was, I would probably be stalling, bro. Like I would probably be stalling, adding more and more shit just so I can figure out where the fuck the story's gonna go. Because with that weekly schedule, it's kind of hard to really plot things out. Like it's kind of hard to make a story on like a 5-day cycle. Because like I think maybe you got like 1 day of rest and then you're back to like 2-hour 3-hour sleep days. You know, it just really fucking sucks. And I kind of feel for Kubo having to go through that. But I'm a consumer. I'm not a mangaka. I'm not a mangaka working in the Japanese manga industry. So I only have my perspective, right? And you guys only have your perspectives as well. So about a while back, I ended up going to like this exchange store and like grabbing these Bleach volumes. It was like three for one. It was like $10 for each. So I was like, yo, I'm copping that. So I ended up getting like 9 volumes for just like $30. And I'm gonna show them to you real fast. I got like numbers 43, 44, and 45. I was in the middle of the Arrancar arc, so yep, got that right there. I got 46, 47, and 48. That right there. And I ended up starting like the fullbring arc. So this is like the end of the Arrancar stuff when Ichigo like defeated Aizen. I think it was like volume 48, like that last one. And it really felt like I was at the end of like a whole manga. Like Tade Kubo kind of ended it right there, because this is like maybe like almost about 400 chapters in and shit like that. And just like seeing everything on paper, it looks way better than when I was reading everything digitally on the Viz website. And then we got volumes 49, 50, and 51. This is when I started like the fullbringer arc. So this started in this volume right here. You can even see like some of the new characters, like this guy and her. I'm pretty bad with names, I'm not gonna lie. This guy's really cool. He got like this really cool ass sword. I feel like every section of like every damn, he just stabbed it right in the boob. Like every new section of Bleach, we always get these new cool cast of characters. Like the last arc, the Arrancar arc, it was like the visors and like and of course the Arrancars and stuff like that. But with this is like the Fullbringers, and we find out that Chad was actually in this as well. Oh, we have the names right here. Kugo Genjo, that guy's cool. This guy fucked up Uryu like in the beginning of the Ichigo's like 6 feet. I knew that motherfucker was tall. Like when I look at Ichigo's height, it was like they said it was like 5'9" or like 5'11" or whatever. Like, dude, that guy is tall. But I digress. I started the Fullbringer arc with this, and I'll explain my thoughts in a bit. I know my voice probably sounds a little bit weird right now. I'm gonna get on my PC in a second. Yeah, I got like all 3 of those for just $30 fucking. I'm like, I'm gonna go crazy on this shit. So I kind of I was very hooked onto the story, so I kind of blew through them like pretty fast, and I ended up finishing the Arrancar arc. That last 3-piece volume was the start of the Fullbringer arc, and I'm like, this is perfect. So that means I can kind of just jump into the Fullbringer arc the right way, because I feel like with Kubo's style, it looks better on paper to me. I don't know about you guys, like if you guys ever read Bleach traditionally or traditionally. Wait, did I say traditionally twice? Digitally or traditionally? It looks way better on paper to me. I feel like you get the most out of Kubo's style because he intended it to be read that way. Volume 49, I think that's titled The Lost Agent. Ichigo, it kind of starts off with time skip. It's like a year time skip after the Arrancar arc. So Ichigo is like a senior in high school, at least by Japan standards, because I think they go like by like 3 years instead of like 4, like for us. When they're in their 3rd year, they're pretty much about to wrap up with school. They're transitioning into like getting like real jobs and stuff like that. But Hime works at like a bakery, like she sells bread and shit. Chad does like construction, and Ichigo is he's on the soccer team. And he's also doing some other stuff like in his free time. He's living a normal life, right? It's what he always kind of wanted in a way. But I can see like having those powers that he had during
like the Soul Reaper Substitute arc or the Soul Society arc in the Arrancar arc, having those powers, your whole world, your way of living kind of changes. And trying to go back to a normal life after that can be a little bit, I can imagine for like a fucking 16, 17-year-old, it could be pretty jarring. Like I know me, I would be fucking tweaking, bro. I'm like, bro, let me get into any physical confrontation, I am folding them. Like I would not be able to hide my powers, bro. And that's kind of, Ichigo is pretty good at like keeping it low key. So what happened was he traded his Soul Reaper powers for like high physical powers. So he still has his physical strength from when he used what was that shit called, Getsu, on Aizen, where he traded his soul energy for how would you describe it? It was pretty confusing when I read it. He traded his soul energy just to basically become like really physically strong. Now he's invisible to ghosts. He can't really talk to Rukia or like Renji or any of the Soul Reapers anymore. He's going back to high school, and he's a fucking goalkeeper for a soccer club. And he's eventually approached by a mysterious dude, Kugo Genjo. Is that how you say it? I can't say any of these fucking names, guys. Fuck. But Kugo Genjo is a very cool guy. He ends up I did not trust this guy at first. When I first saw this guy, I was like, bro, get this motherfucker out of here. Like this guy cannot be trusted. Every time I see a new character that looks like this in like a shonen manga, I'm like, I don't know. They're either like the coolest guys ever, or like they're gonna like just be a snake. And for like the first I would say like 100 chapters, you know, we don't really get to see any fights. Like we just get a feel for what the characters are doing after the Arrancar arc. It's almost like a slice of life manga, and it was very it was kind of weird for me because the Arrancar arc was very action packed. Like people was fighting every fucking chapter. I would say it was a breath of fresh air, because I feel like the story needed to slow the fuck down after the Arrancar arc. It was just constant plot twists and like people getting sliced and getting holes being put into and being impaled and shit like that. It was like absolutely insane, and just having the story slow down after that, I think it was a pretty good choice by Kubo. And I like seeing the characters just kind of chill the fuck out, as opposed to like when it comes to shonen nowadays, like My Hero Academia. I feel like that series could have benefited a lot from those in between moments where, like, you guys know what I'm talking about. Like back in the day, I feel like between arcs we kind of had like little mini arcs, like just showing what the characters are doing after the arc happened, like showing how they deal, like let's say if a character died or something like that, like the third Hokage in Naruto, they're dealing with that grief, dealing with him dying and stuff like that. Jiraiya, Naruto's dealing with that, you know, is not just jumping into the next arc. And when it comes to fights, there's like a time to breathe after these fights, whereas My Hero Academia and JJK is just constant. We just keep moving after every fight, after every chapter, after every arc. It doesn't really give us time to breathe.
What is this show about? What is it about, bro? Like, yeah, they've been fighting. It's been, hold on. Bro, we 10 minutes in and they have not said nothing, bro.
The thing about all of this is...
Bitch!
And this is what I really like about the Fullbring arc starting out. This is my initial first impressions, where I was like, this is really slow, but I kind of like it. So volume 50 is called this is when we see like the 6 Fullbringers. We see these guys. So from what I can understand, what the Fullbringer power is, it's pretty much humans being able to manipulate souls within objects. So apparently every soul has an object, and they're able to manipulate those souls within those objects. So if it's like a fucking cup, there's like a soul within that cup, and you can like manipulate that to like whatever you want. It's a whole new power system within Bleach, and it's pretty cool to see. I always like it when shonen introduce different power systems within those verses, because it gives more of an opportunity for other characters to be relevant. Like we find out later that Chad ends up we actually find out that Chad is with the Fullbringers, right? Because for a good chunk of these volumes, I was thinking like, damn, where the fuck is Chad? They mention him, but we don't really see him until like I'll say like maybe 100 some chapters in, or like maybe 200 not chapters, like 100 or something, or 200 something pages in, guys rocking like a full mustache and beard and shit. This dude, he never looked like he was a teenager anyway. This guy went through the fastest growth spurt I ever seen. But we find out that Chad he has fullbringer powers, and I think that really suits him. It gives him a chance to be relevant because I mean, he's not gonna be a fucking Soul Reaper like Ichigo is, you know. So I think this power fits him. So in the background, Uryu is very interesting. Like, I feel like he always has like some type of parallel story to Ichigo, and he kind of always has his own thing going on in the background. It kind of reminds me of I don't know if any of you are like huge Sonic fans, but like Knuckles, where he's as much of a protagonist as Sonic can be, right? He has his own thing going on in the story. Same thing with I guess you could say Shadow the Hedgehog too. Uryu has like his own Quincy stuff going on. Like in the last arc, he was like going under training with his father while Ichigo was like doing his own thing. Uryu sees this guy just standing on top of this building, like and he chases after him, right? Because he's been noticing like some weird spiritual pressure around lately. He notices it isn't like human speed. The guy is like amazingly just fast. And then while he's in the middle of pursuit, he gets attacked, and it cuts back to Ichigo like just doing like his own thing, like going over to talk to it seems like something just happened to Uryu. Like the scene like cuts to something else, and it kind of fast forward to his dad kind of getting into contact with Ichigo and Orihime. Uryu got fucked up. I'm just keeping it stat. He got fucked up, and they find out that he wasn't attacked by a hollow. He was attacked by a person. So us, the viewer, we saw that it was a person, but we don't know like all the context behind it. We don't know why Uryu got attacked or who this guy even was, but it was confirmed that the guy was human, like just like a regular human. Ichigo is not feeling really good about this right now, right? He doesn't have his fucking Soul Reaper power, so he's like, I can't really see what's going on. I don't like he's in a position in his life where everything's kind of weird and a little bit confusing. And he really wants to help out Uryu, but he just kind of can't. So that's when he seeks out the Fullbringers, and we kind of jump into this story. So I would say another thing I like about what's going on right now is that the story is kind of zeroed in on Ichigo, whereas in the Arrancar arc, we spent a lot of time actually away from Ichigo on the other characters. There was so many people to pay attention to during the Arrancar arc, to where there would be sometimes where we would spend like 5 to 8 chapters like away from Ichigo. Right, and it's cool that we see that the story kind of focuses in on him again. So we see him like developing these Fullbringer powers, and no, that is a swastika. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure they changed that in the anime. If they didn't, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So a little bit after, the guy who attacked Uryu shows up and is talking to Orihime. And there's like a lot of tension right here. What I love about Orihime in the manga, like I heard that she's just kind of a damsel in distress in the anime. In the manga, she actually has agency, especially after the time skip where like she's like just sizing this dude up like, hey, I might have to hurt you, my nigga. Like he was like, if it was you who attacked Uryu, I can't let you leave, right? Like she is willing to scrap with this nigga. Like to see Orihime kind of just like making her own decisions, like just being brave, right? It really shows how would I describe it? She has her own mind. Like she doesn't just wait for Ichigo to like come and save her and stuff like that. Where like I feel like other shonen kind of do that with the female characters, where they kind of just wait around for the main hero to like come and save them or like help them and shit like that. Orihime doesn't really do that, you know, because Ichigo has been kind of isolating himself lately, and like they all kind of have their own lives and shit with their own jobs. You know, I would assume that I would assume that Orihime would become a little bit more independent in this time. Yeah, the whole this whole arc like so far just feels a lot more mature than what I'm used to with Bleach, where it felt like just like a shonen for teenagers before, but I feel like it's kind of reaching that seinen category where the story almost feels kind of limited by being in Shonen Jump. Like I almost wish that it was in like a seinen magazine sometimes, and Kubo can just like go wild with the themes that he's trying to convey within Bleach, because I feel like there was a lot of things that he wanted to do, but you know, because of the audience, because of like what was popular in Shonen back then, he was kind of just ahead of his time. I feel like if he was doing that shit today, Bleach would still be at the top, but it would be like crazy at the top, like like, you know what I mean, like on some like y'all remember when Tokyo Ghoul came out and it was like the next best thing until we realized the anime fucking sucked. It would be like that, except we don't have like a shitty anime. So far, these are my thoughts on the Fullbringer arc. I'm probably gonna be playing through so I got the Bleach game. So I'm gonna be playing through that to kind of refresh my thoughts on the story without having to read through the manga. Like just kind of give myself like a new way of like consuming the story, you know, and just having a fun way to pass the time. So I'm gonna be doing that in the background. And these are my thoughts on the Fullbringer arc initially within 2025. So I'm going to be continuing on. I'm going to try to get my hands on volume 52. I'm going to see if I can do that. And I'll be back with another one of these videos. Hopefully it won't take me 2 fucking months to do it. And yeah, I will see you all later.